What's some useful computer tricks? Ctrl plus Shift plus N to open incognito window in Chrome. Windows plus Ctrl plus D to open a new desktop. Alt plus Tab to switch tabs. Alt plus F4 to close current window. Edit to navigate around multiple desktops. Use Windows plus Ctrl plus Left, Right to close the current desktop. Use Windows plus Ctrl plus F4. Professional IT support. Here, tip number 1, if you're encountering a problem, there's a better than average chance that someone else already encountered the problem, has discovered the solution and placed the solution for you to find on the internet. Write down any error code, application problem and other information about the nature of the problem and hammer that into the Googler. Look for 2 or 3 answers and see if the resolutions match, or close to match, and follow the consensus. If your laptop runs hot while gaming or in general, try turning down the CPU voltage. Control panel, power options. Change plan settings, change advanced power settings, processor power management. Drop plugged into 95% or 90% and set system cooling to active. Minutes processor state to 65% or in max processor state to 90% or 95%. My gaming laptop would hit 90°C while gaming, and laptops shouldn't go over 92°C. Doing this has dropped my temps down by 30%. Now I get around 65°C while gaming. It makes game loading a little slower, but once the game is loaded it will run just fine with no issues. It also helps extend your CPU a little longer by not being at a 100% all the time. If you're a smoker and you smoke at the desk, make sure to check and clean your PC's air cooling systems frequently. That tar gets in there and can mess with the fans. Working from home? When you leave the computer, place the mouse on an analog watch with the second hand. The motion will keep the computer thinking you're still working and you'll continue to appear online to the rest of the company. In Windows, create a new folder on your desktop, rename it and change the title to God Mode. ED7-470-E54-465E825C99712-043E01C. This will turn it into a quick one-stop shop that has a ton of administrative tools right in one spot. Ctrl plus Alt plus arrow keys changes your display orientation. This is something that can be restricted by a group policy though. Ctrl plus Shift plus arrow key skips you around the document and highlights everything in between. In Notepad++, you can hold Alt plus Shift and click the top or bottom of your document to highlight entire columns of information. Might be sort of obvious, but surprisingly few people tend to go through their settings. On macOS, if you are using a MacBook, you'll find options for the trackpad. There's a lot of cool things you can do with it, and you will be pleasantly surprised to learn that it's fairly customizable in how it works. It also shows tutorials on how to do everything as well. I very highly recommend turning on tape to click because the default option requires putting pressure on the trackpad, which always felt odd to me. Adding control to regular key presses, Ctrl plus backspace or delete will erase entire words, not just single characters. Ctrl plus scroll is an easy way to zoom in, out or increase, decrease, zoom. Hundreds of other combinations too. Ctrl plus left arrow, move one word left. Ctrl plus right arrow, move one word right. Ctrl plus backspace, delete the word to the left of the cursor. Ctrl plus L, delete the word to the right of the cursor. On Windows you can swap between different windows quickly using Alt plus Tab. You can swap between tabs with Control plus Tab, which is useful for when you go full screen. F11, since you can't access the tab bar. Control plus C, this will copy any currently highlighted text. Control plus V. This will paste any currently copied text. You would be surprised how many people don't know this. I just know Excel shortcuts. Control plus direction to go to the end of the data and the direction. Control plus page up, down to change sheets. Control plus space to select a column. Shift plus space to select a row. Stuff like that is super useful, and some of it even works elsewhere. Back up your data. Keep one copy in your hard disk, one in cloud, like Dropbox, Google Drive, or OneDrive, and one copy in an external hard disk. Use a non-data mining mailing service for communications of a personal nature like tax stuff, communication with real estate agent, discussing intimate things with family members, etc. So, don't use Gmail or Hotmail or Outlook. I like ProtonMail in this regard. Browser extensions. I always make sure to remove whichever ones I'm not using on a regular basis so I don't accumulate too many and slow down my browser. I've managed to trim the number down to 33. Single most important extension? uBlock or Origin, ad blocker. K and space bar can pause and play videos. J makes the video go back 10 seconds. L, that's lowercase l, makes the video skip 10 seconds forward. I makes the video go down into a small screen and let you browse the home page. M mutes and unmutes the video, and F allows you to go in and out of full screen on. Hope this was helpful and makes your experience more fun and easy. Edit. I'm not sure about other computer brands, but all of this works on a Chromebook. Your computer can likely have multiple monitors attached, which a decent amount of people do not know about. Hook up a monitor to your laptop, or 2 monitors to your desktop, by using the other monitor ports that are available, and you can. After starting your computer, hit Win-P to select how to proceed. You typically want to extend your display. Head over to Display Settings and you can identify your monitors, to put a number on them, and then drag the monitors around to specify where they physically are, to the left, to the right, up above, etc. Note: if you are using a video card, then only use ports on your video card. A video card disables the on-motherboard video ports that would be located where your video card is not. Now you can watch Netflix, YouTube and browse Reddit mindlessly at the same time. Play a game on one monitor and have a messenger or voice chat program open on the other monitor. If you can't find a thing to toss on the other monitor, you could always have an animated wallpaper just doing its thing instead, with Wallpaper Engine or Lively Wallpaper. Regardless, 2 monitors are better than 1. Holding Shift when selecting 2 things will select everything between the 2 things you clicked. Holding Control when selecting things will let you select multiple things at once, helpful for dragging lots of files around or deleting multiple tabs at once. This is also something that's pretty consistent with most computer programs, so it's a good habit to get. On MacOS, I find the text navigation shortcuts super helpful. CMD plus left, right, move to beginning, end of line. Alt plus left, right, move to previous, next white space or special character. Adding Shift with either of those commands would select text along with moving the cursor. Control plus scroll wheel will zoom in, out in many applications. This also works on desktop icons, web browsing, space bar to page down, home, M to skip to the start, end. Add Shift to reverse the direction of Alt plus Tab, Control plus Tab, etc. Tab cycles through fields on a form, plus Shift to reverse. In Word, Control plus Tab will insert a tab into a table instead of tabbing to the next cell. There's a million keyboard shortcuts that will make your life easier. Many of the built-in Windows ones follow a predictable pattern, so play around. If you have multiple monitors, Hold Win key plus Shift and press left or right to send a window to the other monitor instead of dragging and dropping it. Remove the Shift and you can minutes, max, left half, right half of screen. If you are on Windows, and you are installing software, you can bypass many bullshit installers, spyware, ads, and other crap by looking for an MSI file. These are Microsoft's standard installers and they must be compliant with their standard, as they are designed for mass deployment. This makes them great for fast installs. Once you get good at them, you can whip up batch files that will install dozens of software titles at once, that things like 9 do not have. For a single MSI file, you'll typically want it to look like this: mzexec/imz.mz/qb/installs/qb provides you with a progress bar. There are more installation options. For example, Zoom Client has over 100 of them in the MSI. https://docs.microsoft.com/ns/windows/win32/mz/command line options. Downloading uninstall Vuex64.exe from Nearsoft is also a great way to uninstall software and to remove pesky bullshit from computers. All Unix shells, including ZSH on Macs, allow you to string together commands to make the second command use the output of the first, using the key. For example, you could write some data into a text file with echo and display it with less, but you could also use getData, less and display the data directly, without using any new files. If you administer Windows computers, you should know the Microsoft's internals suite, free, official, small Microsoft tools that are often the answer to "it would be nice if I could figure this one thing out," except they are rarely the first suggestion on Google results. Process Explorer is the best, in my opinion, to figure out what poorly documented programs are doing. This may not be a crazy trick, but many people don't know about the snipping tool. Yeah, you can screenshot your entire screen. Many people know that, but Windows has a snipping tool you can just take pictures with, of smaller things on your screen. I love this tool. It's on my taskbar at all times because I am an insurance broker who is constantly talking with clients on Facebook Messenger. If I want to take a quick picture of their conversation with me only so I can attach it to their file, for legal reasons, I use the snipping tool. I use it almost every day. Instead of Ctrl+Alt+ fuck off, I don't want me whole screen in system edit, just search for snipping tool and start. Should pop right up. I've been tinkering with computers for 20-odd years and work in the tech field, and I've had to debug 99% of my own problems. Here's some tips. 99 times out of 100, someone out there has run into the exact same issue as you. If not, then something similar. If a specific error code pops up, copy and paste the error in your browser search, Google your issues and use quotations to get even more specific. Typing Snow White will show you results for Disney, while doing Snow White will show results from Disney, the climate, etc. If you have multiple antivirus programs running at the same time, they can lead to issues. I can't remember what issue I had exactly, but they were great enough so that my computer could not function properly. The problem ceased when I disabled and uninstalled one of the antivirus programs that was running. Related to point 1, I found a solution to this when a user on a forum mentioned computer symptoms that were nearly identical to mine. In the browser, hit Shift+Ctrl+T to open the last tab that was closed. If you're building your own computer, install the OS on SSD and not a regular hard drive. Your boot up time will shrink from a minute plus down to 15 seconds or less. Alt plus print screen will only copy the active window if running multiple displays. Shift plus tab will go to the previous cell in applications which alternate fields, Excel, PDF, etc. Ctrl plus Shift plus F10 will grant an automatic win in solitaire. Always screenshot or copy, or however you want, error codes if any. Google those error codes. Computers are not magical. There are honestly few scenarios where you type something in and the PC explodes. I have seen too many people that believe this and are scared to do anything to fix the problem. Learn to search forums and other places, Reddit, to help facilitate fixing a problem. Just realize that it may take a while and may not be as accurate as you would want. Always make sure that the advice given fits the hardware or software you have if possible. Keep a Linux slide with you. This will allow you to access computers with a corrupted OS. Nomad OS or Tails are the best options. If you want to protect some info, use a software called VeraCrypt. You will have an infinity of options for protecting files and drives. If you have a laptop that really slows down when plugged in, then it's likely the charger isn't providing enough power and your laptop throttles the way down to maintain the battery level. A good indicator is the CPU going from like 2.6 GHz to 0.5 GHz and you come grinding to a halt on productivity. Ctrl+Shift+Escape opens the task manager directly. No need to go to the screen where you pick it or lock or change user etc. There is also an option in one of the drop-down menus on Task Manager to force Task Manager to always be on top. I found this useful when I had a game that kept crashing and wouldn't let anything appear in front of it, which prevented me doing anything. It faster than a hard reset until I found that. If you have multiple monitors, you can press Windows+P to bring up a side window that allows you to choose between PC screen only, duplicate, extend, and second screen only. You might think that this is only useful if you have exactly 2 monitors, but it goes deeper than that. Each of those 4 options has a default that does exactly what it says. However, if you choose second screen only, for example, you can then go into your display settings to customize exactly which displays are activated on this mode. Every time you switch to this mode, it will remember which displays you had active last time you used this mode. Alongside this, each mode will also remember the default playback device you had active, which is very handy. On my computer, I have PC screen only set to only activate monitor 2. So monitor 1 can be used for console games. Extend is set to both monitors 1 and 2, and then have second screen only set to display only on monitor 3, which is a TV in the other room. If you plan on murdering your spouse or someone else, it's often a good idea not to look up the How to Murder My Spouse using 30 on the home computer, only to then use that method you looked up. Amazing how often this seems to be an overlooked tip when I watch Dateline NBC. Press print screen to get a picture of the problem, or just copy the error and put it in Notepad or Word or Google Doc. Google the exact message you got, but leave out things like the date and time. Try stopping and starting, or rebooting. Ctrl+T opens a new browser tab. Ctrl+Shift+D reopens the most recently closed browser tab. Can be done multiple times to open previously closed tabs as well, during the same session. Very handy if you close a tab you need by accident. Ctrl+Tab works the same way for browser tabs as Alt+Tab works for program windows. Edit. I almost exclusively use Firefox, but I decided to test these on Chrome. Ctrl+Tab works slightly differently but is functionally the same. Ctrl+Shift+T seems to be able to open tabs from previous sessions on Chrome. Very specific for programmers. On most hides and text editors, selecting a bunch of text and clicking Tab will move everything 1 tab to the right. Shift+Tab will move everything 1 tab to the left. I found out not too long ago after programming for like 2 years, and I don't know how I didn't find out sooner. Honestly, it all comes down to knowing the correct phrase to search on Google. It might take 5 or more overly wordy searches describing what you are thinking about to find the common term or phrase it is known by. Then you search for that correct phrase and get all the answers you needed.